Hey y'all, what's up? If you don't know who I am, my name is Corrosive, and we're back with another dose of fighting games. And you know what? Something compelled me to come back to Street Fighter 6. I didn't really leave for any real particular reason. I just kind of got burnt out of it, the ranked scene, and all the new stuff. I just kind of wanted to give the game time to air itself out, right, and everyone smooth it, and for the game to smooth itself out, right. But yeah, now that I'm back, man, I'm wondering what the hell happened. This is not the first attempt for me to record something for you guys on YouTube, but yeah, suffice it to say, I ran into a lot of stuff that I'm kind of what happened to Street Fighter while I was gone. Way more disconnects, a lot of people one and dunning me, which pisses me off to no avail. But yeah, it's annoying and frustrating, especially when I know for a fact I'm not as sharp as I used to be, and I kind of want longer matches with characters that I can understand but I lose against, so I can better improve as a player, right? But I digress. I'm fighting Rashid. If you don't know, Rashid is kind of permanent top one. I have not seen him go down from top one, and since he's been released. So, you know, I'm trying to see how I can stack up against the Rashid right now, right? And it's going pretty well. You saw me land the Psycho Crushers. When I land an EX Psycho Crusher into a combo, I normally feel really good about it. But again, I'm trying to get back my old standing with Bison, where I could do combos a little bit more efficiently, a little bit more consistently. And yeah, this is just a journey back. I'm trying to I'm trying to think now that I have if you look at my channel, I have so many things that I like to do. I have the Adventure Time series. I have my little Persona 3 thing going on. Now I have Mecha Break. Street Fighter was my first thing. I don't want to abandon any of my ideas or my projects that I have going on. Right. I still want to get Master Rank with Bison, and when the DLC characters come out for season 2 or season 3 of Street Fighter 6, I tend to play a lot of them. I'm so ready to spam fireballs with Sagat, right? And this is another thing that has been really stressing me out as of late since I've come back, right? These lickers that are playing the game using really whack ass strategies to play the game, right? And what do you mean by whack ass strategies, you might ask? Well, you know, I just saw earlier, this constant runaway strat. What the fuck? This is my first game I played too, coming back to Street Fighter, and like, and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck happened, man? We're playing a fighting game, right? What is this chicken shit that these players are doing? You know what I mean? And I can't be mad, but it makes me mad when it's effective, and I don't really have an option. You know what I'm saying? If I meet him in the air, he beats me in the air, right? If I can't intercept it well enough because my air to air options are kind of bad in my opinion, especially when it comes to certain characters, right? Especially Rashid, because he's kind of like an airborne idiot, a very big airborne idiot. And I'm gonna blow him up like you blow up a balloon, and I'm gonna pop that shit like some siblings do to their little brothers' balloons on their birthday. So yeah, and the crazy thing about these kinds of players is they're always one and dones, man. They never want to learn the game. They only want to run this dumbass strat that they know, right? But yeah, we're off of it. I'm so glad I didn't lose that match. That match would have made me mad. There have been matchups against Dalsim, which are way worse and harder to deal with, that I've lost to, which made me uh, delete the whole recording in general. I've won way more matches than say that recording, but that one loss made me want to delete the whole entire thing because I can't fathom. You know what I'm saying? I can't fathom. But I will say my gameplay right now is kind of robotic. Again, I don't have fluidity. I don't have creativity in my strategy. anymore. I have to kind of regain that. Again, ring rust is a thing, and I'm experiencing it in real time in my matches, right? I would, you know me, normally I like to do big fish matches, but again, the time I take off from the game, the harder it is to fight these big fish players. Even though I do fight like high masters sometimes, it's like, if anything, I want to show you guys close matches. I don't want to show you guys like me getting stomped, you know what I'm saying, or me stomping, unless it's like I'm doing something cool in my mind. Then okay, I might show it. But you know what I mean, like standards, right? What are your standards? But yeah, you know, coming back to Street Fighter, like I'm just kind of like, I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but I am kind of disappointed. Like I'm either disappointed in myself because I'm fucking rusty as shit and I like drop stuff that I normally don't drop. I'm disappointed in the players because I see high like diamond players incorporating dumbass strats that actually work, and I'm wondering why they're in such a high standing. Look at that combo drop. Like why? Anyway, or like I'm disappointed in the game because like I'm in a game or I'm in a match and I disconnect. You know what I mean? Or like the opponent disconnects, or like something happens with the connection, and that wasn't like the case. Like it wasn't so common. Like I would like to say I tried 3 attempts to record something for Street Fighter, and the first recording I canned because like every other match I was disconnecting and I don't fuck with that shit. And the second one I already told you guys it was a Dulcim thing, and that shit just tilted me off the wazoo. And yeah, this is the third one, you know. I'm the third son, so I had to get it done in the third recording, right? So yeah, third child, not third son. I'm the second son, but y'all get what I'm saying. Anyway, trying to, you know, remember what are the good options for Bison is kind of like the crux of what I'm trying to go for right now, right? I already know his lights can be really good in corner to get like really quality frame traps, right? But in my mind, right, I can't get them in the corner to set up for that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll bust out like this, or like I'm trying to go for like the kill, right? And I don't want to, well, even though the loop would potentially lead to a kill, right? If I'm not familiar with the loop and I whiff out, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, why? In my mind, I'm kicking myself like, why the fuck did I go for that? You know what I mean? Like, you know. But yeah, you know, like some more like adversities that I'm trying to overcome in this game is the whole Psycho Crusher buffer. That window is so unforgiving, right? And just trying to master that window to where I could get it more consistently in battle is a huge challenge, you know what I mean? So yeah, just trying to you know, get to where I want to be in this game just in general is it's kind of a fucking challenge. You know, I wonder how like people like, okay, obviously in group, right? When you're in a group setting, it's easier to stay on topic or on task, right? Because you have like other people like chiming into the conversation or like applying their own thoughts into the conversation to keep it going, to keep it continuing. But when I record these videos by myself, like there have been so many times where I so badly want to just go on a random tangent that it was relevant to like life in general. And like I say that to say, like, normally like what I wanted to do was I wanted to upload something onto YouTube like every day, since like I don't have a job, and like it's getting harder for me to do that because of like my actual life. Like if you guys don't know, like I originally wanted to do YouTube kind of as like a side hustle, because like I really love playing video games, and when I'm in a good mood, like I feel like I can create something very entertaining, something very enjoyable for the masses, right? But like since I've been going through all my turmoil, if you guys don't know, check my Patreon. It gives a little bit, or my GoFundMe, it gives a little bit of what I had to go through and what I am still going through right now. It makes it hard for me to really open up games and record and think of like fun topics to talk about and like things to like look forward to and stuff like that, because my brain is just on like reality. Everyone has X amount of time, and some people's time is accelerated to run out, and I am in a situation to where my time is accelerating, and I'm stressed out about it, and I would say that normally because I've been in situations where I'm in high amounts of stress, but I am still able to work, right? I still be able to earn an income. So there were ways for me to deal with that stress, whether it was, rolling up, or, getting drunk. If you talk to any actual adult, they like any grown ass man, they all have their own vices on how to deal with stress, whether it's working out, drinking, smoking. It's one or the other. I like to work out. I've said it many times before that I enjoy combat sports because it's a great way to relieve stress. But again, you have to pay for these things. You just like how I talk about how I like to drink rum. I have to pay for these things. You know what I mean? But when the place where you live makes it harder for you to deal with your stresses, you know what I mean? Like, what can you do? You know what I mean? What can you do? I always say you can only do what you can, right? But when what you can do doesn't lead to anything, and you're in this cyclical cycle, it's like, yeah, you see me trying to get these Psycho Crusher inputs. I'm really trying to get them, but it's really hard. And this is another reason why I can't play Street Fighter as much as I used to. It's because fighting is a very realistic thing. You know what I mean? It's like putting like buffs and like frame data behind, right? It's a very real, like, okay, I messed up here and this is why he's doing well. You know what I'm saying? Or, oh, like this character is really strong because of XX reason, right? And this gets me into thinking too much about reality, what really goes on in the world, and not what's in these virtual, these fake worlds, okay? And the fact that these are the only things that give me purpose right now, drives me nuts. It truly drives me nuts because again, I'm like I said it before in one of my past videos, I'm a type of person that I like working with my hands, and I like being busy. I like doing stuff, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's a job that I really don't give a fuck about, that job gives me purpose because it allows me to do things that I actually give a fuck about. Like, again, working out, doing jiu-jitsu, doing combat sports. Again, if you guys don't know, I'm a big engineer fan. Nikola Tesla is a big inspiration, and Elon Musk a little bit is a big inspiration to the stuff that I want to aspire to do. And not being able to actively pursue that goal frustrates the shit out of me. Like, did you guys know that if you don't have a an ID, a license, you can't even rejoin the military? But they'll take your license away from you as soon as, say, in my instance, even though I had insurance on my car, the time it took for it to become online, my license was elapsed. So they took my license and my car from me. Which, if that's the law, that's the law. I want to personally change it, but it's the law. What can you do? You know what I mean? And the fact that alone has such a ripple effect in just getting a job, because just like in this game we're playing right now, there are a lot of ones and zeros that make this game function, right? And I feel like nowadays when it comes to getting a job, it's all about how much of a plus you are, how much of a asset you are to the company, right? No company right now in my mind wants to pour money into something that isn't gonna bring them revenue, right? And it's frustrating to say, even in the minor jobs, you know what I'm saying, they don't want to onboard somebody who they feel like aren't going to meet the deadlines or be at the place on time. You know what I'm saying? Like you only get like 2 strikes and you're out, literally, in this world. And if you're, I feel like, a person of color, that is reduced. It's reduced immediately. Reduced immediately. So suffice it to say, I'm very stressed out. I feel my time running out, and like it's hard for me to want to accurately create something enjoyable for people when I myself am finding difficulty enjoying things. Mainly because I have a monkey on my back that I can't get off. To say in layman's terms, right? The fact that, like, for instance, if I was to say, like, say there's a let's say that you're trying to work for a company that deals with pest control, right? Most pest control companies, they only, for one job, they send one person out. That one person has to have a valid driver's license. Has to have, hold on. They have to have a valid driver's license. They have to be able to, you know what I'm saying, be on time. They have to be able to be accountable, reliable. Just having that little unreliable note on around you makes it for them impossible, or it makes the margin of you getting hired lower, right? And then you don't have a license now, which is now that that reduces your likelihood of success from, say, 90% if you're the average person and there are no biases, right, to now maybe 20%, because now you're not an asset, now you're a liability, because they have to pour time into you that may not go into the company's, like, they may not see that benefit. They'll see it as they will not see a benefit from it. So it's like, in my mind, it's like, how do you convince a person off of a conversation that, you know, I'm here for the long haul? Because 90% of the companies that I get to work for, and 90% of the places I tend to work for, I tend to stay there for a long time. Like, I guarantee that if you put gamble on me, I will pay that gamble back, like, tenfold. Like, I will try to. That's my goal, because why? They put faith in me to give me a job, which I feel like, especially nowadays, is extremely hard to do. You know what I mean? And then I get off. I stop thinking about that one topic, because it just drives me into a very dark place. I can't be there very long. I genuinely can't be there very long. And then I see what goes on in our political system, right? And I'm thinking, okay, the left side is probably corrupted by another company or another country. The right is protecting pedophiles because they don't want to have their lives ruined. But then again, my life was ruined very easily. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, if you guys can ruin my life because of the laws made, why can't you just accept the laws that you guys are supposed to, that you guys are supposed to be governing, right? And not try to be above the law? Like, again, like, I felt like the presidency as of right now had such a good start. You know what I'm saying? They just, irregardless of who was on the list, they just had to give it out. You know what I'm saying? Take the licks of the public and the people that put you in the office to do that one task, to do multiple tasks, but that one in particular. And, you know what I mean? Like, accept that might hurt your chances of any future, you know, big aims for presidency, which is fine. I feel like a lot of people in our government right now have been in there for like a very, very long time, to the point where they could implement long-term change if they stuck to a specific rhetoric for a long enough time. And this is, I remember in one of my past conversations, I talked about bringing what happens when the old guard dies. Well, to some extent, I feel like there is no like good side to the old side. They're all just trying to cover their asses off of crazy mistakes they made in the past, which again had a ripple effect. But at the same time, you know, everybody's kind of waking up. Everybody's kind of understanding like what the fuck is going on. So why can't we just have honesty? Why can't we just have transparency? When that was kind of like the whole overarching like topic of why you got in, right? Why is it that accountability is it also being ignored and pushing blame onto other people, right? When you know these people are getting the orders from up top, right? Why can't, it's like, and then I think of the LA thing and it's all about cutting off the head of the snake. Well, it's like now we have two snakes. We have, but they're two different snakes. You feel me? And it's like, I wonder why is it that people in power care not for their actual people? You know, it frustrates me to no avail. Like, I can't even speak for everyone because I generally don't know who to go to, who to talk to, because at a point I was trying to become legitimate so I could find these people to talk to in certain spaces, but as soon as I start to elevate myself, I get clipped. And now where do I go? Who do I talk to? You know what I mean? And especially now that I have no form of legitimacy, I don't have a legitimate job, I walk around outside and I just feel like a bum. I feel like if I go talk to somebody about these issues, they're just going to think I'm just this homeless guy who just leans on the government for whatever to live. And that's not the truth. It's not the truth. I'm the Joker. One bad day ruined my life. And I'm trying to like keep a positive mentality. Look, y'all, I know this is like supposed to be a gameplay like video, and I'm supposed to be all like hunky-dory happy about, you know what I'm saying, be playing Bison and fucking learning new shit and fucking having a great time and shit, but can I take the mask off? Is that cool? Do you guys mind if I remove the clown makeup that people are forced, that was forced on my face? Take off the red nose for like a second and just be fucking real. You know, I say this, I didn't even know what I'm on about right now. Again, I just have a lot of shit on my mind and I just don't know. I just don't know. I feel my time running out. I want a job. I'm not a bad worker. I'm not a lazy worker for any stretch of the means. You know what I mean? And it's just like, because of factors that I knew about and that I actively tried to combat, now it's like I'm not a liability anymore. I'm a liability now. I'm not an asset. And living in that reality is just, it frustrates me to no end. It frustrates me to no end, because at some point it's going to be up, and when it's up, it's never for debate. It's never for debate. You can never argue for life when everybody doesn't, when no one wants to give it to you anymore. And it's like, what do I do then? Just be like, what do I do then? Why, what caused this mental lapse? What's causing this conversation? My phone doesn't work now. I can't pay my phone bill. Like, and that's like the simple thing, right? That's the simple thing. There's so many things going on in the world right now, just my slice of the world in general. There are moments in my mind where I want to like sit back and like really discuss with you guys about what they're discovering in Antarctica and how they think that there could be some very interesting pyramids there, but and also how that there was a navy ship that was a U.S. naval ship that went to Antarctica, and how they encountered strange things, and how that naval ship had to come back to America basically limping because that the things that they encountered almost wiped out the entire fleet, you know. And the air reports about how the certain jets flew around a specific hole in Antarctica, and they were immediately shut off and almost crashed into the location. I think they were drawn into the location. Very interesting stuff is going on under the nose of most average people, you know. But it's like you know, if you talk about that stuff, if you bring that stuff into light, what happens to you? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna get fucking shanghaied, and then or are you gonna get disappeared, quote unquote? And then I think of the LA stuff, and people using that disappearing stuff and using the kidnapping thing as a legitimate source of argument. And I'm like, I think to myself, weren't most of these people who are here or who are being taken away brought illegally by an administration who are seeking to buy votes to then, because they can't persuade the Americans onto their side, so they're gonna bring foreign interests into the country to then change and adjust the country into something into their image. That in my opinion is the biggest indicator of treachery, and the fact that they had then got other Americans to drink the Kool-Aid to then side with them is just showing me the lack of intelligence on our side. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? You can't kill me because you already killed me. I'm already dead anyway. You know, at some point I'm gonna be kicked out of the place I live, and then what? I'm just what you guys want me to be, right? Trash on the street, right? So it's like, I'm stressing out. Obviously, you guys see that this is a meltdown of epic proportions. Oh my god! But like, this shit's real. Like, there are probably other people with potential and aspirations to do great for this country and for like probably their own countries, because this isn't just a localized thing. This happens all around the world. I saw what happened, the street streamer. I saw the street streamer thing, and that stresses me out even more, because it's like, streaming isn't, though it is a place you can create money, you can generate money from, it can't be your only way to make money, because it takes time. It takes a lot of time. It's basically volunteer work. You have to volunteer your time in hopes to get paid someday. It's not going to come today. It's not going to come tomorrow. You have to expect it not coming for years. And then your country then forces you into the situation where you have to do it in hopes of making money. And thankfully, it's not like China, where it's like the music industry, where there are vultures who utilize this kind of cycle to then gain money off of your blood, literally off of your blood, and the potential, the hope, the prayer, literally, of you making money from random people off of either sheer kindness or interest in your content, right? If you don't get that, then you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? And if that's your only source of income, you're dead. You've died. You know what I'm saying? And this isn't a video game. There's no, like, yeah, there have been some stories of people coming back from the brink of nothing to then make something of themselves, but that's 1 in a million. You know what I'm saying? It's becoming less possible. It's becoming less possible. And when you think about it, in the fact that death itself is an industry that creates a lot of profit, you know what I mean? It's like what is going on? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, and then I don't know if I said this publicly or I said this in any form of public space yet, but when you have to do something illegal on the side to generate a positive life, an actual life for yourself or your family if you have a family, I feel like that is proof that the system is fucked. It's fucked in a very egregious way. And how do you fix that? How do you even go about that, right? Without causing mass fucking death. You see how in LA, right? Though I said it before in a past video, don't fucking be aggressive. That's not gonna get what you want. And what do? What do? They continue to assault the police. They continue to protect the violent people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's like they incite violence. It's like it's very clear that their objective, their goals aren't to protect the peace of America. It's not to protect the overall American ideas and dream, even though some people will argue everybody should have a fair chance in America, this, that, and the third. I want to just bring back the earlier topic that I said that most of these people were brought here illegally. They used to cheat to get here. They used to cheat to gain money and position, right? They used to cheat to be where they are. And now that the smoking mirrors are gone, now what are they doing? They're rioting. They're fighting police officers. And like, again, I was arrested and they took everything from me. I didn't fight because guess what? That makes you look bad. That makes you look, if there was a credible case here, being the peaceful one and being the peacefully wronged one makes you look way better in everyone's eyes. Again, I brought it up in the past video. Think of Malcolm X. Think of Martin Luther King. All these activists that were arrested wrongfully. They did not fight, but they did fight. They fought legally. They fought to prove themselves in the most correct sense of the U.S. legal system and in the U.S. mind, without violence, which was insane. And that's why they were dealt with in a way to where it was more like a symbol. Talk out and get done. I think in this time frame now, I think of all the great presidents we had that were assassinated. I think of George Washington. I think of what was his name? His head back and to left. It's killing me now because I'm an American. He was one of my favorites. Shit. But there's a lot of things going on in my mind right now, guys. You're gonna have to forgive me. I'm thinking of Bush, but it was not Bush. His name's Kennedy. I want to say it's Kennedy, but I swear to God, I think I'm wrong. My brain is not operating correctly because I haven't eaten well. I haven't been eating well, and again, I said it before. Working men don't eat, and you know what I'm saying. It's all weighing on me, okay? Because again, I have standards. I have a way of living, and when you all right, I'm just gonna say this, and I think I'm gonna end the video after this round, right? I think that in this modern society, you following the good path is a fool's journey. I try to follow the good path, and I got screwed. I am now in a situation to where either I get lucky and I get a job, or I have to resort to illegal stuff to then somehow mount a comeback, which is ridiculous. I don't see how this is good for anybody, especially when this isn't something new. This is something that has been occurring throughout many years, and there's no sign of change. In this new administration, I was hoping, I myself personally, as a very loyal American, wanted to see change in a positive manner. I'm seeing more of the similar because people want to cover their own asses. I'm going to tell you right now, I followed the good path. I try to do what's right, and I got shafted. So why can't you just accept that this is what happens? Why can't you just accept and let yourself be shafted too if you're on this supposed uber bad list? You could talk about, oh, I've changed, da 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 da. It's only bad if you still do the shit, right? Right? I talk about smoking pot, but guess what? I can't even smoke pot no more. Why? Because I don't have money for it. Y'all made it to where I can't make money because I talk about smoking pot is okay, which it is, because it's legal. It's legal where I live. It's legal where I lived. Like, and the fact that the when you join the military too, you have to make sure you don't smoke that shit because they'll kick you out if you do. In my mind, why make it legal in the country then when before you go, in my opinion, before you go into the military, you should experience life before you sign up and give your life to something else. It just makes sense. It just makes sense to just try things that aren't really bad for you. You know what I'm saying? Everything is addictive one way or another. Water can kill you in too much. Too much water can kill you. Okay? Too much eating can kill you. Okay? So, what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? And then I think, is this control? You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna control the conversation by saying, "Oh my God, if you smoke pot, you're a dumbass. You're bad." You know what I'm saying? I won't say that I'm a very I'm a very knowledgeable individual. I'm not the smartest person in the shed, but I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? And the rhetoric that all potheads are stupid irritates me. I don't know. It irritates me. I don't know. I'm not going to change the video either. I'm literally just going to post it the way it is. Because, again, I wanted to start this video off just talking about, like, how great the game is and how much fun I'm having, the crazy matches, I'm learning combos and having a great time. But I would be lying. The things that are going on in my mind aren't pertaining to video games. I can't lie about it, because that's the only thing I'm focused on. I can't make up a conversation about it because that's not what I'm focused on. I'm focused on trying to eat. I'm focused on trying to make a living, getting back to what I want to do. I'm Prosive, and I'm out of here.